we now have a couple of minutes for a Q&A. So I'd like to invite Chris Tanga and Thomas Farrugia to join me. If you could unmute yourselves and turn your videos on, that would be great.
That's good fun.
So Chris is joining us from Insects for Food, Feed and Other Uses, which is a program at icipe. And he works very closely with Sunday Akisi, who we just heard from. We're also joined by Thomas Farrugia, the CEO of Beta Bugs. Hi, both.
Morning.
Morning. So I guess my first question really is, in our presentations, we heard a huge amount about the opportunities for innovation. And I wanted to ask both of you, but going to Thomas first, what do you think is the greatest priority for future research in the field?
First priority for research. So I would say primarily the one interesting bit which we're seeing, I think we've seen something like Lalamont coming online as well on the meeting, but the idea there is how do we crack formulating feed for black soldier fly and other insects? What we see a lot in the sector is, and in terms of the published research is, we grew black soldier fly or another insect on this substrate and we got this result. But when you look at what our other agri-food industries have done, they have developed formulated diets which say a chicken needs to be fed these things, and the limiting amino acids are X, Y, Z. If you feed it this, it will grow like that. And we still need to do that properly in our industry.
Brilliant. Chris, do you agree? Do you think there's something different that should be prioritized?
With Thomas, but there's one thing I want to say with respect to the African context. We have carried out a laboratory research on production parameters and establish all the optimal conditions and fine-tune mass production, both at lab and on-farm levels. And here you find that a lot of our SMEs actually have recipes that has been formulated to be able to study that they produce for the market. Some of the key and most important area of research that I think we should give some emphasis on, I'm sorry for this, that we should give emphasis on now is on processing and safety. Processing, because of the high fat levels of the insects, a lot of people are experiencing issues of extended shelf life, and also safety because these insects are rare on large diversified waste streams, and as such they do have a lot of spectra of pathogens, and it's unlikely that this insect will go on likely to go clean without having these pathogens, and so they need to be effective research to be able to process them for proper safety. Another aspect that we have to lay emphasis on is not putting a lot of emphasis on one insect, as Dr. Casey presented, black soldier fly. We need to intensify research in diversifying into other insects because we don't know what might happen in the near future. Other area of research should also emphasize on diversifying the value-added products that we have in this along this landscape. Intensive research on, and it's clearly shown that when you combine the insect production and the frass, farmers are able to make more profits than just relying on the insect production alone. We have other essential products like chitin, chitosan, that can be, we are able to generate from the pupa skin that is left after the black sulfur has emerged. These are very important products that can be used to soil amendment, fight against underground and above ground pest species. We have other valuable products like oils, which could serve as feedstock or additive in cosmetics and adjuvants, and can also play a very important role in pharmaceutical and nutraceutical products production. Other key aspect that icipe has worked on extensively is also the phytosteroids. This is amazing thing and doing a lot of research in this area because this insect can produce antimicrobials that can be very, very important in the medical field. Just as Dr. Sunday also showed in his presentation, looking upstream, we find that these insects do have both prebiotic and probiotic bacteria. And we are able to establish that when these insect products are fed on pot or livestock or fish, it tends to enhance the gut health. This means there might be a tendency of reducing the extensive use of antibiotics in animal production. So these are so many key areas of research that we think has to be prioritized, and not forgetting consumer awareness and also the discourse factor, transforming this product into more acceptable product like the powder, because some people cannot withstand the sight of whole insects. Policy. We need to create enabling environment for the companies to be able to strive in this space. And this policy, we know most of them are still at the national levels, but we need to harmonize it across the different areas. So there's a lot of research work that is going on, and all these areas are areas that icipe is doing a lot of work within the Africa context to make this enterprise a more successful one in the future. Thank you.
Brilliant. I think both of you have highlighted points which are going to be continued, particularly around other insect species, processing and novel products in the next session. So I think thank you very much for framing that upcoming conversation.